5 minutes.
Your awareness may be powerful enough to control your instincts. Your instinct will be to remove your hand from the box.
It's your girl Meesh, and welcome to another episode of the LUV MEESH Podcast. And welcome to part 2 of self-respect. Okay, so we left off on books or Goodreads Reco, which was 13 Signs It's Time to Build Some Goddamn Self-Respect by Lona Wolf. That was amazing. Go check them out. The link is in the description. Now I wanted to go over some pictures or memes that I got. I always take a screenshot and save it in my phone. I have so many pictures in my phone, it's ridiculous. I think I'm going to just go through all of them and make journals where people can write. So I don't think we be journaling. As much as we should. Let me see, So this comes from Steve Harvey. This was literally 11 hours, y'all. The messages just come whenever they come. Sometimes the people you wanted to be a part of your story were only meant to be a chapter. Recognize. Sometimes I be like, really, Spirit? Sometimes, here go another one. Sometimes it's not your ego, it's self-respect. This was 10 hours ago. I accept the wrongs and rights I contributed towards others. I accept that my behavior may not have met the expectations of others. I accept all versions and diversions of me. This is from Manon Wanderer. He is on Billy Carson's Unite the 99 spiritual social media that I just adore. And he's pretty cool. He always has a lot of good stuff to say. And I'm just, I'm loving what I'm seeing with the Divine Feminine 222. Okay, so I be getting my numbers, y'all. Let me see, 222. Hold up. I've been getting my numbers lately. My cousin usually send them to me, but now I'm bouncing them back because I'm seeing them. Angel number 222 is a sweet, uplifting message from your angels. They are with you. You are on the right path, and your manifestations are coming soon. Try to relax, enjoy your life, and find little ways to enjoy all the little pleasures around you, whether you are manifesting love, money, spiritual peace, or anything else. 222 is one of the most beautiful omens that from the divine realm that you are supported, heard, and infinitely loved. Say a little prayer of gratitude and smile. Thank you, angel number 222. So that just confirms me doing this whole self-respect. They're just confirming, okay, on the right path, boo, and keep doing the hard work, and everything that you want to manifest will come true. So let me go back to my pictures. I can't believe I caught 222. Okay, let's see. I am changing, but not in a way that you would expect. I am changing how I view myself. I am changing how I talk to myself. I am changing what I allow and who I allow in my life. But most of all, I am no longer changing myself for others. The pressure to fit in and be anything else other than myself. I am creating a revolution in my own self-care. Now, I don't feel like I maybe have wanted to fit in, but what I will say is, when things have bothered me, you see them and feel them, but I never express them. I remember I went on vacation with my friend. We went to Jamaica, and was that Jamaica or Mexico? No, that was Mexico. And she was like, what's wrong? Like, she was thinking I was hungry. Like, no, I freaking jumped off the rock in the water and my legs were like hurting. But they didn't know that. Or, you know, they probably would say, hey, stay here and rest your legs. So it's just like, but they felt like she got an attitude, like something wrong with you. So people always know my Cancer energy. But I need to like express that, like, look, y'all go, I'll be here. You know, my leg's not feeling too well. You know, Lord Jesus. Let's see. If anyone ever dismisses you for being too sensitive, ask yourself this: who is more fragile? The person who is brave enough to say when something hurts, or the person who cannot apologize or admit to having caused pain? Sensitivity, empathy, compassion, these are badass superpowers. That comes from my HSP emails. Make pain your teacher, not your companion. You do not have to live with pain. Instead, you must learn from it. I think that's really what Spirit is trying to teach me. Like, I keep trying to make my teachers my companion. Like, Spirit, like, no. That person was supposed to dip in your life, teach you this message, and dip the hell out. You trying to build and start whole foundations with these people. Like, no, that's not what I sent them to you for. And I just can't help it. Like, okay, Spirit, like, okay. So make pain your teacher, not your companion. You do not have to live with pain. Instead, you must learn from it. Forgiving people in silence and never speaking to them again is a form of self-care. May you have the courage to break the patterns in your life that are no longer serving you. You can be spiritual and heartbroken. You could be spiritual and depressed. You could be spiritual and angry. Spirituality helps you to face the human experience, not suppress it. I definitely needed to see that because I kind of felt like, oh my God, I'm so spiritual. And I heard, is it horrible decision? Horrible decision? No. Is it Cocktails? I think it's Cocktails. Cocktails, on one of her episodes, she was like, my spiritual people be going through the most. Sit down and rub your crystals. She just was like going the fuck off. And I was like, damn. But no, we do go through, we are depressed, heartbroken, and angry because we dealing with a whole bunch of humans that's not on a spiritual journey. That's what I feel like. Like, I saw a quote that said, going to therapy. People go to therapy to deal with the people that's not going to therapy. And I feel like spiritual people go through depression and anger and heartbrokenness and all this other stuff because of the people that's not going through a spiritual journey. So, that's just my take on it. And then, let's see. I wanted to go over my Pinterest self-respect. I have a link in the description if you wanted to follow. Boy, I love my little Pinterest. Let's see. I got all the categories that you could ever think of. This one is my respect quotes. Let me make sure I go to mine. Self-respect quotes. My mom once said to me, I can tell you over and over to leave the situation, but you won't until you're ready. One day you will wake up and realize that this isn't what you want to feel like anymore, and you'll be done. And I think it's important that everyone hears this. Now, I felt that moment. I was doing something for so long, and it was hurting me. I didn't say anything about it. I didn't speak up about it. And it wasn't like I pretended everything was okay, because I would have my moments where, okay, this person knows that something isn't okay. But I did not give an ultimatum, or I don't know what. But I finally was like, enough is enough. And I feel like they picked up on it. So shifting. As you are shifting, you will begin to realize that you are not the same person you used to be. The things you used to tolerate have become intolerable. When you once remained quiet, you are now speaking your truth. Where you once battled and argued, you are now choosing to remain silent. You are beginning to understand the value of your voice. And there are some situations that no longer deserve your time, energy, and focus. Life doesn't always introduce you to people that you want to meet. Sometimes life puts you in touch with people that you need to meet, to help you, to hurt you, to leave you, to love you, and to gradually strengthen you into the person that you were meant to become. And I honestly feel like that's what forgiveness is so powerful, and love is so powerful, because we have these contracts that we sign before we get here. We already know that I'm going to cause you so much pain, but you're going to get your lesson. And if you angry at me and sending negative energy my way, you are causing karma on yourself, because that I was just doing what I was supposed to do. So I had to rethink karma again, because if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, it's not karma for me. Even though you feel like it's karma, if I am doing what I was supposed to do, it's not karma. So it's like, wow. Let's see. Self-respect. If you don't have it, the world will walk all over you. I know I was healing when I enjoyed my alone time. I started responding rather than reacting. I saw my parents as people with their own unresolved trauma. I set boundaries, and when people didn't respect them, I knew they were clearing space for those who did. I was okay with being misunderstood. There will be times in your life when you have to choose between being loved and being respected. Always pick being respected. That love without respect was always fleeting, but that respect could grow into real lasting love. Love is not all you need. You need mutual respect. You need support. You need trust. You need boundaries. You need people to be there when it matters. You need space to grow and acceptance when you do. You need people to show their love in a way that you can understand. Now, that needs to be on a t-shirt, on a billboard, a commercial all around the world. People need space to grow. Give that to them. And give them acceptance when they do. People need to show love in a way that you can understand. You around here giving somebody the moon and the stars, and they only ask for a meal. They do not understand. They didn't ask for the moons and the stars, and that may not feel like love to them. They asked you to make them a damn meal. Life is crazy. We go to school for the wrong shit. That's all I gotta say. It takes a very strong individual to sit with themselves, to calm their storm and heal all of their issues without trying to bring someone else into their chaos. Your journey into self-love is just that, and you are doing it. I do pull back because I know I'm emotional and I don't need to be pushing anything out on anyone else. But I don't think people really get that. Repeat after me. I am not responsible for how people respond to my boundaries. I am responsible for setting and honoring my boundaries. If my relationships end because I set boundaries, then it is a sign that the foundation was correct. In healthy relationships, I can set boundaries without fear of retaliation, cut off, or manipulation. I'm so glad that Spirit showed that to me. Because I usually be like fearful, like, I don't want to hurt somebody. What would this do? Da, 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 da. Just like all about everybody else. Like, no, Spirit is like, no, boo. This is about you. Respect yourself enough to walk away from anything that no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. That makes you happy part, I really had to sit with that. Like, you could think something is making you happy, but deep down it's making you sad and depressed. And you have to get it out of your life. And if a person, I don't know, people say things, but they really don't. Do they really mean it? I don't know. Sometimes you outgrow people, and despite what others might say, this is not a bad thing. When you evolve as a person, when you focus on yourself and gain a better understanding of what is good for you, you start noticing red flags around you more easily. You find that the people who are stuck in the past, who don't care about their progress, or who have thoughts that do not align with yours, they dampen your own growth. With time, you choose not to entertain such people. You leave behind anyone who doesn't play a positive role in your journey. Your energy is a gift. Not everyone deserves to have access to it. Not everyone deserves to be surrounded by it. Not everyone deserves to emotionally or mentally benefit from it. Save your high vibrating energy for those who genuinely care for the evolution of your spirit. Your soul is golden. Not many like you have been created. A gem that is rare is bound to attract all sorts of characters. It's up to you to decide how close one gets to it. There's no telling where the universe will take you next, but you know it will take you far. A soul like yours was made to go the distance. It's okay if you didn't realize it until now that you're a walking diamond. The more pressure that is applied, the more dazzling you become. The spiritual journey is individually and highly personal. It can't be organized or regulated. It isn't true that everyone should follow one path. Listen to your own truth. Your boundaries need not be an angry electric fence that shock those who touch it. It can be a consistent light around you that announces, I will be treated sacredly. Things to remember. Don't make it your responsibility to fix people who don't want fixing. No amount of convincing them will get them to change unless they decide to for themselves. I do not respect people who have no empathy or compassion, have no integrity, support and are loyal to people who unjustly hurt people. Always have a justification for their mistakes or how they treat people. Maintaining a sexual relationship with someone who has no interest in you does have its consequences. Every time you connect with another, especially sexually, you are exchanging sacred data and information. If they are not in alignment with you, they shouldn't be laying down with you. Sexual integrity requires being true to yourself. I was disrespecting myself in that regard. Nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. I've repeated a lot of lessons. I see that. I am loved and respected. Respect other people's feelings. It might mean nothing to you, but it could mean everything to them. And I have apologized, even when I felt that it was nothing, because I know it was something to them or they wouldn't brought it up. It takes a lot of guts to say, hey, this hurt me, or hey, I don't like when you do that, or hey. It's like you're giving a person an opportunity to fix it, and how they react explains everything. You can't force anyone to value, respect, or understand or support you, but you can choose to spend your time around people who do, and that is what I'm focusing on. Stop marrying and committing your lives to people just based on love and love alone. You'll lose every time. Respect is important. Fidelity is important. Finances are important. Spiritual growth is important. There is more to marriage than love. When I actually thought about this, I was like, oh my God, I just been focusing on love, 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 love. But we aren't even, when I started looking at stuff, I'm like, okay, we don't have the same love language. You don't do this, da, da, da. Like a lot of stuff just wasn't aligning. It was like, Maturity is learning to walk away from people and situations that threaten your peace of mind, respect, values, morals, or self-worth. Say that again. Maturity is learning to walk away from people and situations that threaten your peace of mind, your self-respect, your values, your morals, and your self-worth. I don't want to say learning. They should just say walking. Okay? When you walk away, hey. All relationships is a reflection of your relationship with yourself. Deepak Chopra. Now that, remember on the last episode, I already said that. I actually saw a situation, like I stepped outside of my emotions because something hurt me. Like I never saw this day coming. And I was like, oh my God. But I stepped out of my emotions and I was saying, okay, so I taught you this, right? And you taught me this. And, you know, we taught each other what we need to teach each other, and we're going to go move on in this world. Now, maybe in the afterlife, we'll be like, oh, you remember on earth where you hurt me? Well, I thank you for, you know, teaching me that lesson, whatever. But for now, like, maybe it is supposed to be what it's supposed to be. But what I also realized was, if people are a reflection of you, like, let's say someone is disrespecting you. If that person is a reflection of you, then that means you're disrespecting yourself. If you're disrespecting yourself, that means you're disrespecting Creator. Do you see how deep this goes? So, another thing outside of these quotes, if I have more respect for myself, or let's start with Creator. If I have more respect for my spirituality, the path that I'm taking, the people that I allow, and my surroundings, you know, my meditation, my prayer, if that was on a higher level, I would do better on my level with myself, and I wouldn't expect a lot from others, right? So it's almost like a trickle-down effect. So the fact that someone else has disrespected me just shows that I'm disrespecting myself, and it shows that I'm disrespecting Source. You see that? So it's like, you can't even get mad at other people because Creator is not getting mad at you. You just got to make it right, period. Stay single and build yourself. The universe will send you who deserves you. To lead a spiritual life, you need to embrace and respect your sexuality. That's the biggest lesson that I'm picking up from respect. There was a point in time where I was in a relationship for 10 years. And when I got out, I was like, okay, I'm going to do my thing. And I wanted to get in a relationship. But I felt like I didn't date enough. So I didn't want to get into another relationship right away. And then I was like, okay, well, if these guys don't want to get in a relationship, then I'll just kind of do my thing. Don't get my heart into it, you know, whoop. But then I realized, like, I can't do that. Not with this Cancer heart. I'm like falling in love and loving people and wanting to have relationships. And you can't do that when you're just supposed to be friends with benefits or whatever. So I had to, like, about phase, like, we're going to backtrack. This is not friends with benefit anymore. This is just strictly friends, which means I'm communicating with you. That's it. And I'm not even communicating right now because I'm in my space right now. So the difference between me and my female friends is me and my female friends would talk, give each other hugs, go out to eat, yada, yada, yada. Me and my male friends, we would talk. I would give them that female energy. They would give me that male energy, because one thing about this life, you're going to get female energy from somewhere. You're going to get male energy from somewhere. It could be from a parent. It could be from a pet, yada, yada, yada. That's just the route that I got it from. And of course, we were being intimate. But when I pulled back and was like, okay, we're just going to be friends now, everything started to, like, kind of switch up. And I'm like, okay, so this just proves that, was there a friend at all? You know, if this is what it's about. But I think it was also a realization to where if you really care about someone more, then you have a choice to make. You can either make it more than what it is or walk away. And whatever choice that is, both parties just have to be okay with it. The next one is, I honor and respect my journey as I honor and respect your journey, all without judgment. And that is my takeaway. Like, no matter what happens with whomever, thank you for my lesson, move on. Like, I literally just have to journal my emotions and put them in check, because they'll have me thinking something else when no, it was just a lesson. You don't need a perfect relationship. All you need is someone who loves your weirdness, wants to spend time with you, and respects you. Like, respect just keep popping up. It's not overreacting to want to be treated with respect. You learn a lot about people when they don't get what they want. She respects a man that respects her when she's not around. Cutting people out of my life does not mean I hate them. It simply means I respect me. I was raised to show respect. I was taught to knock before I open a door, say hello when I enter a room, say please and thank you, have respect for my elders. I let another person have my seat if they needed it. Yes, sir, no, sir. Help others when they need me. Not stand on the sidelines and watch. Hold the door of a person behind me. Say excuse me when it's needed. Love people for who they are. not for what I can get from them. And most importantly, I was also raised to treat people exactly how I would like to be treated by others. It's called respect. The only thing in the morning, especially if I don't rock with people, I'm not going to be like, hello. Because just, you don't have to say anything to me at all. Like, that doesn't bother me. But I realized a lot of people either wasn't raised, or, maybe people were raised differently. That's just kind of how I was raised. If you constantly have to tell someone the same exact thing about how you feel and they don't change it, understand that they don't respect you. And I will put in there, I don't think it's a respect thing all the time. It just could be something is not being communicated. Another one is I love me, I listen to me, and I respect me. A beautiful woman that can go out and come home and lay in the bed alone is a woman with standards and self-control. Lady etiquette, respect yourself. If you don't, others won't either. Remember, the world sees what you put out. So hold yourself to a high standard of grace and elegance. Exit gracefully, healed and grow, and don't look back. Respect is at the root of love. Be still and know that you don't have to coax anymore, to hold you in high regard. When love is intentional and authentic, there will be no anxiety about reciprocity. Connections meant for you won't be second-guessed or filled with uncertainty. Free yourself from relationships that leave you feeling insignificant. And that one right there is number one for me. But I've never communicated that. Somebody is mad at you right now because you pick peace over drama and distance over disrespect. I notice I do distance myself, but there's bigger meanings in it than what I confess. If you ever lose interest in me, please respect me enough to tell me. Don't keep me in your life to gain confidence and energy from my affection, loyalty, and genuine kindness. Let me go so that I can pour my time, my patience, and energy into someone who will value and respect me. Make them respect you. Maybe they don't know your worth, but you do. I learned the hard way that I cannot always count on others to respect my feelings, even if I respect theirs. Being a good person doesn't guarantee that others will be good people too. You only have control over yourself and how you choose to be as a person. As for others, you can always choose to accept them or walk away. I would rather be alone with dignity than in a relationship that requires me to sacrifice my self-respect. Truly powerful women don't explain why they want respect. They simply don't engage those who don't give it to them. If they don't respect you, respect yourself and leave that situation. Respect is treating someone how you and they want to be treated. I like that. Caring about the thoughts, feelings, and rights of someone else. Dating someone who understands your mental health is so important. There are people who will make you feel terrible for things you can't or don't know how to control. You disrespect yourself every time you let something slide that doesn't sit right with you. So I've buckled down on my boundaries as a form of self-love. My time is valuable. My feelings are valid. And those who love me will respect it. I desire nothing more, and I will take nothing less. Someone can love you desperately with their feelings and still not know how to love you correctly with their actions. That's the one right there. That's the one right there. 5 things to say when your boundaries are challenged. I mentioned this as a solution because I want to maintain the relationship. Some things I allowed in the past no longer work for me. It's okay if you don't like what I'm saying and I need you to respect it. We think differently about this, and I won't argue about what feels healthy for me. This isn't negotiable. Respect your body when it's asking you for a break. Respect your mind when it's seeking rest. Honor yourself when you need a moment to yourself. Your mental health is more important than meeting that Tinder date, the test, the Netflix show, or the photo you want to post. Always put yourself first. We all deserve to be treated with nothing but respect. In order to command respect from others, we must first and foremost respect ourselves. I have a friend who always asks me before venting and sharing concerns if I have the mental space for it right now. And I gotta say that willingness to respect boundaries and not demand a loved one dedicate emotional energy that they may not have for that day, that's the healthiest shit ever. Now, that's the one too. Because I don't have it right now. And I don't know when I'm going to have it. Do you have the mental space for me right now? You know what I mean? That's beautiful. If you want something from me, if you want me to do something, respect who I am. Respect my way of doing things. Listen to me and allow me to disagree and find my own way. One of the most sincere forms of respect is actually listening to what another has to say. It also gave me a post on respectful parenting. Dear self, I know you're doing the best that you could do. I believe in you. Keep going. Love me. I definitely want to put that on a pillow. I actually put it on my podcast pillow. I just need to get everything up and start selling it. Let me go to this respectful parenting. It's like universe been sending me parenting stuff. I'm like, okay. Guess what my grandma said today? You finna start your family. I'm like, where is the partner? I'm like, okay, Granny. Let me see what she said with respectful parenting. The truth is, many of the adults nowadays were raised in families where children were considered inferior, where their opinions didn't matter, where obedience was far more important than loving relationships. So sometimes we get trapped in those old concepts, and they might even feel like the right way of parenting, especially because in the short term, they seem to be so effective. But what about the long term? Do we want to raise kids that blindly obey, or kids that have the courage to speak up? Do we want our kids to hide their mistakes from us or come to us when they've done something wrong? Do we want to control and lead our kids' life, or do we want to empower them with the skills that they need to take charge of their own life? That's beautiful. I truly believe in respectful parenting. I want a respectful parent. Aww. Not only because I always felt that this is the way I want to raise my child, but because I see the effects that it has on my boy, and they are so powerful. The most powerful principles of respectful parenting. This is why I decided to share the most powerful principles of respectful parenting that will be applied in our house. They help us build a strong relationship with our son. They allowed us to teach him about good and bad choices in a healthy way without timeout or punishment. 1, treating the child with respect in all situations. The simplest way to implement this is to ask yourself, would I act this way with my friend? Oh, wow. Empathizing with the child's feelings instead of dismissing them. The traditional approach to discipline focuses on the behavior and the way the parent can control or punish it. On the other hand, respectful parenting focuses on the feelings behind a behavior. It's important to find out what generated the behavior and help the child overcome the negative feelings. Building a relationship based on trust and support. Trusting a child means offering independence and allowing them to take the lead if possible. Involving kids in family decisions and allowing them to make choices about their life. Of course, you can always do this, but there are moments when you can. That was so beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Like, yes. I have a on my Pinterest, I have a mommy folder too. So it's called Mamiana. So yeah. So that was my Pinterest on self-respect. Let me see where we are. That was my Pinterest on self-respect. Let's see if I had anything else. I hope they're okay. Y'all hear that ambulance? So I guess my big takeaways for self-respect would be I have to respect Creator more because it starts there. And the more respect and honor and love and reverence that I give to Creator, I will automatically give to myself. And what I give to myself, I will automatically reflect to others. So everything is just like a mirror. We literally are like a diamond, and everything is reflecting. I have to let my boundaries be known. I have to let people know when they step over those boundaries and automatically administer punishments, like just like your job. If you're late one time, they may not say anything. If you're late again, they may give you a verbal warning, and they'll give you a written warning, and then it could lead up to termination. So people are the same, like, hey, I don't appreciate this. Hey, I remember last time I told you I don't appreciate this. Okay, so I told you several times that I don't appreciate this, and you're continuing to do it. I don't think this is healthy for me. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I really do hate that we have to do that. Some of this stuff is like common sense. Let's see. Being truthful, I guess. And when I say that, and I think I even tried to mention it a few times. I'm not going to say truthful. I've tried to mention that I didn't want a certain type of relationship. But I never administered any consequences, so it just kind of stayed that way. But it ended up hurting me. It ended up hurting me, and it ended up hurting the other party too. And so, just me nipping that in the bud a lot sooner could have prevented this whole road. So, I don't want to say I was not truthful. Well, yeah, I'll have to say it. I wasn't truthful for myself. I wasn't respecting myself and what my true wishes were. And I did not respectfully administer consequences for not changing that. I just kind of stayed in a situation. And I think a lot of people do that. I think there are people that are in marriages when they know they need to end. I feel like there are people that are not even married that know they need to end, but they're going to keep pushing towards marriage anyway. There are people, and not everything is bad marriage-wise, but if you're on a spiritual journey and the person isn't spiritual, is that not unequally yoked? Like the Bible literally talks about that, but people are okay with that, they just make it work anyway. But just imagine if you were with a mirror of you, like how so much better everything would be. But then again, we all have our own journeys, and we're supposed to be learning, whatever we're here to learn. So anyways, just learning to, just spend more time with myself, like write down my core values, my boundaries, and, sticking to them. And one of the relationship coaches, she was mentioning, like, she just gets straight to the point. This is how old I am. I am looking for marriage. I am looking to start a family. I have no time for XYZ. She may go on a couple of dates. They start courting. go on a couple of dates. They start dating. They start courting. See if it's going to lead to marriage. If not, they end it. Like, she is not fucking around. You hear me? She is not wasting any time. And that's just literally how it has to be. And I think it's a catch-22 too, because there's some people that rush to marriage, and then that's not successful either. So I think, again, just respecting yourself, respecting your boundaries, respecting your morals, respecting Creator. By respecting yourself, you'll automatically teach people how to respect you, and then they probably can implement that respect within their own lives. It's just a whole snowball effect. But I was thinking, like, I don't know what I was thinking, like, respect was. Like, I definitely didn't think I was disrespecting myself. Like, that was such, like, a hard pill to swallow. Like, oh my God, you have not been respecting yourself, honey. And maybe living life in different eyes, maybe I didn't feel like I was disrespecting myself. But maybe with the eyes that I have now, I can see that, no, baby girl, that was not hot at all. That was not hot at all. But y'all already know me. I'm going to put these in podcast. I'm going to put my experience in podcast. I'm going to put my experience in books. I'm going to teach my nieces and nephews. And look, it won't all be in vain. And I'm just going to continue to grow and evolve and just try not to get so wrapped up in my emotions, so much so that I miss the lesson. But I am thankful so much to all my teachers. Just thinking back, because I haven't done the book yet, some teachers have taught me, although I may think I want things so much, I don't. Because if I really wanted them, or if we really wanted it in the same light, it would have been something completely different than what it is. To not give so much of myself, just to pull back. To say no and to set boundaries and to stand on it and to confirm it. Like, you can ask me the same questions a million times and the answer is going to be the same. And let's see, I have learned to let someone know when they have hurt my feelings, and regardless of they may say, because I think I focus too much on what they say. It's not really about what they say. It's the fact that I express. I respected myself by saying, hey, I didn't like the way you did that. And that's where my job ends. Now, how they react, that's completely on them. But I did my job by expressing that. And then my second job will be, okay, how am I going to react to what they say? If they react this way, what am I going to do? If they react that way, what am I going to do? So again, it bounces back to me. Man, I have so many teachers. I might have to do a part 3 on this, because I didn't even do the book yet. But when I think about a person, I think about the ways that they taught me to respect me. And it's usually by the bad things that happen. You can flip it and say, okay, well, you taught me this. Or because that happened and I don't want that to happen again, you taught me this. So I guess this episode will be a little bit shorter, but the next podcast will be self-honor. And I don't think you can honor yourself without first respecting yourself. And as I mentioned, I want to talk about my death, the death of the old me, my new birth, the birth of the new me, and my wedding vow. Like, I saw a lady marry herself. Like, she just committed to herself. She stood in the mirror and said her vows. She bought a ring, already got a ring. And it just was like herself. But I guess with this whole self journey, I definitely want to do that. Not just because I'm not married yet, but because the longest relationship that you're going to be in is with yourself. So why can't you love yourself, marry yourself, and commit to yourself? I think that's what this whole self mini-series was for me. And I want to end it with, marrying myself or saying vows to myself, or, this new version of me. And so I'm so excited to already, have that one kind of mapped out. But whenever I get around to posting it, I'm so excited to share that. All of these mini series have led up to self-honor. And when I think of honor, I think of a crown. I think of a ring. And I think I want to incorporate that with my 35th birthday. It's going to be very small, very intimate. I want it to be sacred. It's a new me. I'm very protective of her. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just so protective of her. I just see things so differently. I can look back and see how people were to me. And I don't like it. Like, it kind of bothers me. When I look back, it kind of bothers me how people were moving in my life. And it's just so odd. It didn't bother me before. It's just the oddest thing. It's just so hard to explain. Like, it was okay then, but it's not now. It's so weird. Just the little slick things I remember people saying, and I just didn't know what they were now. And now I'm able to paint whole pictures like, wow, okay, that's what that was about. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a lot. So thank you, universe, for sending me this mini series of self. I really enjoyed this self-respect. It was very hurtful, very hard pill to swallow, but I welcome the growth. As I mentioned, I can't wait to unfold the next one of self-honor. Let me just see where we are on our time. Yeah, we almost at an hour. So how do we usually end it? It's 7.9 billion people in the world, and I'm pretty sure that number is off. Yet you met me, and this is not by happen chance. It's a divine meeting, and may we guide each other well. If life is like a school, what lessons did you learn today? What class did you take today? Did you pass or fail the test or pop quiz? If so, it's okay. Failing allows you to restudy an area that you're weak in so that you could try again better than before. 100% pass. Keep learning, evolving, and spreading love. I hope you see the fruits of your labor. Namaste, love-a-stay, always vibe high, babe. If you vibe low, that's okay. You can vibe high again. And let me just answer those questions. What lesson did I learn today? I learned that I need to maximize my self-respect to the max and don't let anyone object to it at all. Like, it is what it is. Take it or leave it. So the class was on respect. I feel like I had a couple of tests and pop quiz, and I feel like I passed. But my emotions are like heartbroken, sad. I don't know. My emotions don't feel like I passed, but my soul knows I did. Like, I stood up for myself. I didn't back down. I don't know. And if it revisits me, I know it's like every lesson we learn, we do revisit them. So I know it's going to come again, probably harder. And I'm going to just have to be on my P's and Q's to make sure that I can keep passing this respect test. And I'm going to just end it like this. If we all was walking in our most divine, high spirit self, we wouldn't have to set boundaries and tell people how to treat us. Oh my God. It just would be the norm. God, it would be the norm. So yeah. And I'm going to do I'm going to set up another therapy meeting with my therapist, because when I talk to family and friends, I don't want them to feel biased about different things. And I just try not. It's been like a year now. I haven't bugged anybody with any of my relationship or friendship or any of that. That's probably why I broke down. I just bottle it in. But she's pretty cool. I like talking to her, and she helps me see it differently. And she's on the outside too, so I guess that's kind of helpful. But I'm going to bring up my relationship. I'm going to bring up this respect to her. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk her through the Roses and Thorn book, because that starts with my youth up to now. And some trauma that I dealt with that I think has led me to where I am right now. And I'm just going to see if she can walk me through each of those chapters, just to make sure that I am, healing the right way mentally. And then I'll double back with my spiritual advisor and see if she can maybe do a Reiki session, crystal healing, elixir, something like that, just to make sure that I clear it up spiritually. Because when I honor myself, I'm ready to move on to something else. Like, I don't even want to revisit this. But I'm just thankful that I'm able to kind of look at the situation with the eagle's eye and see, like, okay, so this goes back far. This goes back to childhood. This goes back to trauma. You didn't just wake up one day and not have any respect. Like, this actually built up, and this is where it started from, and yada, 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 yada. Since you didn't have boundaries at that time, you just didn't have any more boundaries. I just see, like, the whole picture with each person, and it's just like, wow, it all trickled down. It was a domino effect from one event. Like, at a very young age, I didn't speak up for myself. I didn't protect myself, and it just kept happening up until now. So, yeah, that was kind of like a hard pill to swallow. And I'm still going to have to do a little bit of work to unpack on that. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I hope you took something from it. Take what resonates with you. Leave the rest. And I will catch you guys on the next episode. Bye. Thanks a million for listening. There's a million podcasts in the world. You clicked on this one, this one, to hear what I have to say. I hope universe has a special message for you. You can reach me on Linktree at /love.meesh. I hope you have a better than great day. Love ya. Talk to you later. Bye.
You all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet, I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?